the title screen. If you didn't already know, the title screen is a real room in the game, just not one you can get to normally. I highly recommend watching the Tears of the Kingdom episode of Boundary Break as he shows what the room looks like as the title screen is up. My first thought when seeing this was, can I stick an object in the room and have it show up on the title screen? But I already have a lot of things to work on, and who knows if it's even possible, so I put it on the back burner for later. Nah, it shouldn't take that long. I could just glitch something into the room, right? First, I need to find out where the title screen room is. If you didn't know, the prologue, every shrine, the title screen room, and Hyrule are all located within the same space. Imagine a three-dimensional empty box. Within that box is empty space Link can play in. Now copy that box more than 120 times. In the first box we have Hyrule, which includes the surface, the depths, and the sky islands. There is some out of bounds space here and here. The second box we can say is a shrine, and the third box is the prologue. In each of these boxes we mostly have shrines, but we do have one for the title screen as well. We can call them maps. Now the game doesn't really have a separate box for each map, so let's put them back together. All these maps use the same box. When you load into a shrine, the game removes Hyrule and loads the map for the shrine, while also moving Link to the coordinates at the start of the shrine. But we never leave the same box. If we are really going to get something to show in the title screen, we need to take a step back and understand how these glitches work. I'll be using 4 glitches a lot in this video, so I'll quickly explain them. Fuse entanglement. With good timing, you can hold the L button, then attempt to fuse to your shield before the menu pops up. Spam the shield menu and just change to another shield. The game now thinks the object is attached to this shield, and as long as the shield is loaded in the game world, so will the object. Zoggle forces the game to put the shield on our back, but it also thinks it has been successful in putting it in our inventory. Zlot is the combination of fuse entanglement and Zoggle, allowing us to take this object into different saves. When we Zlot an object, we get access to another glitch, Recall Lock. Recall locking is simply recalling a Zlotted object and then loading a save. The object gets frozen in place until we recall it again. The act of changing maps is important to us because we have to get our objects to pass through a map change into the title screen room. Say we are on the surface of Hyrule, and we Zlot this little light at these coordinates. When we change maps and find a way out of bounds, the light should still be at the same coordinates. There it is. This is roughly coordinates 0, 0. Most shrines are located around 0, 0 and overlap each other often. So to illustrate this, I've created a hover platform with a bunch of cannons. They are mostly pointing down because the shrines, title screen room, and the prologue are mostly located in the out of bounds between the surface and the depths. Meaning if I'm going to get stuff into the title screen, a shrine will have to be my midway point. Now I'm going to pick a few shrines at random and look up. We can see the cannons hitting the roof. I went to a blessing shrine so we can get a better view. So this is how we find the title screen room if we can't enter it ourselves. Fortunately, some amazing people made a tool to see all the objects in the game. We can select the title screen room and all the shrines to figure out which one has the most overlap. Let me summarize hours of my life in world record time. This is the best shrine. The floor is practically matched to the floor of the title room, and the title room completely fits inside the shrine. Now let's put an object in the title room. All this work is going to pay off. So I made a few different attempts with no real success, but we do have some information. The slotted object can survive the return to title and then reload of the file, because it's here when we load back in. So it has to be in the title screen room, we just can't see it for some reason. One thing that bothers me is I'm not 100% sure of the orientation of the room, so maybe I'm just missing the wall that the camera is looking at. Though I did see some posts in the Speedrunners Discord about finding a way into the title screen room by overloading the game with fences. I attempted this, but to no success. I'll try again, but I have some other ideas right now. A major theory being passed around is Link is cold during the title screen. Cold is basically removing an object from the game, but in our situation, it's more temporary. And since he is cold from the game, objects on him are cold as well. And with fuse entanglement, the object is only loaded and visible in the game world when that shield is as well. And if the shield gets cold with Link, so does the object. This game does have spots that we can cull items ourselves. So I can use this to see what happens to items that I want to show on the title screen. So if Link is cold, then the shield and the objects are as well. My first theory is the save load duplication. By priming the map rune and quickly going into the shield menu and dropping a shield, the map will pop up. I'll watch one memory to advance one frame, and now the game thinks we need to drop this shield. So if I load the save, my shield will be there. Can I do this to transfer to fuse entangled object? Yes. So theoretically, if Link is cold but the shield is not, the object shouldn't be either. Let's give it a try. Well, the biggest issue is that SLD does not survive 2 map loads, only 1. So I can't really get any data without seeing the object. So I still believe Link is getting cold. But something else is at play. Either something is culling the shield anyway, or deleting it if it's not tied to Link. I still have some ideas, but without the guarantee of being in the right spot in the room, it's hard to be sure whether or not what I'm doing is failing or just missing. This is around the time that Aquaclux so wonderfully reached out to make sure that I saw that you can get into the title screen room if you have a modded switch, just by deleting the progress file in your save folder. I'm somewhat conflicted. I don't dislike mods at all. I love them, but I don't want them to be a requirement for completing a goal. I feel okay doing this mainly because it's just for location information, and if setting up in the room is needed, I'll try to get there with the fence overload. So now it's time to show you the room. Let's lot something in this room to see if it shows up. Okay, so we're in the right place. That feels really good to know. I built a hover bike so maybe we can fly around and check it out. Dang it. Okay, I brought over a recall locked rocket shield and a battery. So there's a box around it, not something that I saw on the object map, but good to know. I fly around for a while and it's a whole lot of nothing, but this is what it looks like. I make it all the way to the end where the camera stops following me, and I do this for about 30 minutes and nothing happens. The same thing happens in shrines, and it actually happens in the overworld if you can get through the invisible barrier. So I slotted in a bright bloom and a shield so I can dupe them. So let's take a better look. Basically it's a copy and paste from the prologue. Let's get a look at it from the outside. Damn it. So we were in the right spot. I tried everything I did before again just to make sure, and it still doesn't work. I spent some time learning and trying different things with culling. I get a little distracted trying to make one of those lasers that are squished together when I realize that the laser stays on even if the device is cold. So, theory 2. If Link is cold, will the laser beam cold too? It does not cold. So this might be it. Let's give it a shot. Nope. Why wouldn't the laser show up? What if not only we are cold, but we are also in a cutscene / dialogue state? Let me call the laser while it's on and talk to this guy. Okay, that sucks, but it's really good information. But I need something that can survive both. Theory 3. How do ultra broken objects react to being cold? I set up a simple slotted ultra broken board and do some tests. Okay, so it doesn't cull by itself. What about if it's attached to Link and I cull Link? So culling Link will also cull the ultra broken item. Let's take the ultra broken object to the shrine and see if we can try a few things. But how am I gonna get this object into a shrine? Well, hopes and prayers really. First I'll go to the shrine and get an autosave there. And then I'll ultra break a board with anti-mass so it'll float without some weight on it. I will slot it and a normal board and take it to about this location, which is 0, 0, right above the shrine that I want to get it into. I'll recall lock it and load the save into the shrine. If I walk out, it's a little hard to see, but it's up there. I'll remove the recall lock and it falls and lands on the roof. So how do we actually get it into the shrine? Well, this is the part where you hope and pray, but it's not too bad once you get an understanding of it. We want to load a save that's nowhere near the spot in the world we left it in the overworld. And we don't want to teleport because both of the animations for the teleport allow the board to move, and that takes too much time. If we load a save far enough away, the collision in the area we set up the board will be unloaded, allowing the board to fall farther. We can only be unpaused here for 2, maybe 3 seconds because we need to load back into the shrine, effectively loading the shrine around the board to catch it. At this point I try just slotting it into the title screen and then I come back and do a drop SLD to see if I can't get it in the title screen, and neither work. Nope. So it feels like the game is continuing to force a culling situation regardless of Link. One thing that bothers me a little is this box. It's probably just some type of effect, but maybe there's a box around it that's saying anything inside must be culled. I highly doubt it, but I'm really running out of options. I attempted a bunch of stuff that's probably not worth going into too much detail. I shoot cannons at it, I shoot water at it, I slot a bright bloom and throw it at the wall for some reason thinking it would still be slotted after I used it. But there is one more thing about Ultra Broken. Culling a fuse entangled object only works if the shield is culled, not the other way around. Also, Ultra Broken objects do not despawn if you're too far away. So if there's a box around the room that culls everything, I could drop SLD the shield far away and return to the title, in hopes that outside the box will not be culled. So before we take it there, let's try it out here. I'll drop both shields, and the Ultra Broken shield will just float there. The normal shield will get deleted because I'm too far away. Alright, there it is. So if my theory about the box is correct, this should do the trick. Let's set it up again and get it to the shrine. Okay, we're here. Let's recall lock and load. I'm going to travel to a location far away, drop SLD, and then return to title. Dang, I felt really good about that one. So, I'm running on fumes here. It's most likely impossible. I hesitated to make this video with no real ending, but I decided to do it anyways so that if I can help someone avoid the hours of testing I did and maybe skip to an idea that I didn't have and find success, it would be worth it. It's a lot of information and I didn't want to just info dump one of the discords. Hold up, old timber. I think I figured it out. Listen, I know I can be dramatic, but I legit had this video ending with nothing, and you see, I can't really stop trying things here and there at least. So update 1. I wasted a lot of time. Remember what I said about zuggling, how the game doesn't know the equipment is on Link? Well, here's a good visual on that. And it's not something I figured out until after I made the video. If we fuse entangle an object and zuggle it, then cull Link, the zuggled shield doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't even get culled with Link, which helps us understand more about how it survives loading a file. The game legitimately doesn't know he has a shield on his back. But it also means that everything in the title screen must be getting culled. Update 2. I decided to test every Zonai device. I want to fuse entangle each Zonai device that has some sort of visual effect when on, and then cull it. Then talk to an NPC and see what happens. The laser was so promising that maybe something else will work. I literally tested all of them and found nothing. But let me ask you something. What's the worst Zonai device in the game? You might say the hot air balloon or the mirror, or maybe even the small Zonai battery. But if you did say one of those, then I guarantee it's because the real worst Zonai device is so bad you forgot it was even a thing. The Zonai light. I legit forgot about the light, and it was the last thing that I tested. I fuse entangle it, snap it on a battery, and turn it on. Then cull it. There's still some light there, so I talk to an NPC. And there it is, the light is still on. I believe this will work because the light isn't an object, it's more like an emission effect. So let's give it a shot. I'm keeping my expectations low, but it's hard not to get excited. Oh my god, there it is! It's barely there, but it's 100% there. Man, it feels really good to have something pay off. So, now that we have this, how can we make it a little bigger? I present to you my name. So this is 3 different shots spliced together. I could only get 1 letter at a time, and it took me about 2 hours to get this far. Can you guess what I used to make it? The Silent Princess. I basically culled every light-producing object and found this to be the best one. It might not be the best, but it worked well, so I took it. I had to get the flower right up to the wall to somewhat resemble a letter. Well, that's it for me. I have no more gas in the tank. That's not to say there isn't any other way of making it happen, but this is what I found. So my birthday is on the 15th of October, and you best bet I'm about to use that to try to get you to subscribe. So please, if you don't mind, hit the subscribe button. I don't know if I'll have another video out before the 15th, but if I do, I'll ask there too. So if you do like this content, please subscribe. And let me know if you have any questions. I'm always down to answer them. I want to thank Why You Have to Be Mad. Why you have to be mad? I want to thank Why You Have to Be Mad for being a channel member. I hesitate thanking him because I'm like, was it an accident or something? I don't know why he joined, but I appreciate it. I tried not to, or I don't want to run ads on my videos. Personally, I just hate ads, but the best way to support would be to become a member. Anyways, thanks for watching.